Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Survival with Fix. In today's episode, we are building something totally, completely different. Last time we built a bamboo farm and a coral farm and this absolutely amazing pirate cove. But today we're branching out from the medieval thing and we're doing a theme park. It's going to be a huge episode. There is no time to waste. Let's get started right now. We're dealing with a raid today because I forgot that I had Bad Omen and I came back to New Hope to kick off this episode and boom, a raid started. So I'm actually on the second wave of it, and I fighting a raid in New Hope is awesome because the atmosphere is really cool and it looks really great and everything, but it's kind of painful because I can never find them. I can never ever find them. And then the later stages, what happens is I can't keep my distance and sort of shoot with a bow. I just walk around the corner and boom, there's one right in your face. So it's a little dangerous. But last episode, we worked on 50 hours. It was actually 58 hours in a pirate kingdom. Hope you all enjoyed that episode. Building a whole kingdom from the ground up in a single episode, and we're going to do something kind of similar today. Last time we built 2 farms, and I do have a farm plan for today's episode. I love the Pirate Cove Kingdom. It does need a name. If you have a great name suggestion for it, make sure to leave that down in a comment because I would love to get that named by the next episode. So what we're doing today, after I finish this, is we are kicking off a brand new area, kind of a kingdom to itself. It's going to be a theme park. I've been very, very, very inspired by Disney World, where I just spent a week with my family. It was really fun, and I was just looking around and just seeing all the possibilities and all the things that we could potentially do, and I want to do that. There's some lore. There will be lore segments in this video. I'm not sure how many, but a few. They're going to kind of explain why the heck we're building a Disney World, sort of, not Disney World, but a theme park in this world. Like, what could the reasoning possibly be? Well, I have that all sort of figured out. So there will be some animated lore segments throughout this video. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to finish out this raid, and then I'll meet you over in the area that we're going to be building in. Well, believe it or not, I was just ready to head out there. I can't find the last wave of the raid. It's just gone. I don't know where they spawn. I've been looking for about 5 minutes. I give up. We're moving on. It's time to start building. So if you follow from New Hope out this imaginary road, which we will be building at some point later on, maybe even this episode, then you get to this woodland mansion. And this is going to be the hotel for the theme park. And I don't think we're going to do that now. I think probably eventually what we'll do is do a full hotel overhaul where we just sort of do the whole thing all at once. I don't know. I don't really have a great plan for that necessarily, but we're going to be coming over here. And if you check out this area right here, this is going to be the theme park entrance. And I am so excited. The only thing I'm not that excited about is the sheer number of trees here. And there's a lot of trees. There are just so many trees. But I think this is just the perfect spot. Everything lines up. Everything's screaming, yes, this is the place to do it. Do it right here. So I'm going to. Got to start with clearing out all these trees. Oh boy, it's going to be a lot. But hey, you know what? This way we won't have to worry about oak or birch for a little while. So that's kind of cool. So let's do a tree clearing time lapse and get started. My goodness, that was a massive epic tree cutting down time lapse, and I only did one little island here. I still have a lot more to go, but this is going to be the main entrance. I think what I'll do is I'm going to end up bringing a road that's going to come down right in between this mountain and that mountain, come right over here, and somehow we'll do like a bridge or a landmass or something. Actually, this is not going to be a land bridge. We're definitely going to make this into a river because this is going to be where the upcoming riverboat goes around and all that kind of stuff. But I think the main gates are going to end up being right about here, somewhere right in this area. I think this is going to be really great. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. I'm aware that Good Times with Scar is doing a theme park thing on Hermitcraft, and I'm probably inevitably going to get some comments that I'm copying Scar. I love Scar. Scar's one of the great builders that Minecraft's ever seen. I'm trying my absolute best to not watch those videos because I don't want to be influenced by it. However, of course, this is Minecraft. We're doing theme parks. We're both, in love with Disney World and other things like that. So there's going to be some similarities that just can't be avoided. But I'm going to try my very best to not copy anything that I've seen Scar do in particular. And I'm going to try to go out on my own sort of way. But that being said, I was very influenced by Disney World whenever I was just down there last week, and I would love to do some of those elements here. Now, also, my favorite park in the world is Cedar Point, more so because I live in Pittsburgh and we go there a lot. We have season passes, and I love roller coasters and all that kind of stuff. So I'll probably be taking a lot of ideas from Cedar Point, particularly Cedar Point around like 1940 sort of style. I think that might be the main style we go with for this main island. Speaking of islands, let me show you what I'm talking about here. Now, this is my map, and I want to show you just kind of where we are, because again, I'm trying to keep everything really close. So you see New Hope is right here. Here's the new castle, which I almost did this episode on that, but I've really been inspired for the theme park thing. And down here is like Sandgill. This is the new place of Harrowdale, I think it's called. So there's going to be a road that's going to come down along here, and it's going to go right along this edge, because this is all going to be the hotel, this hotel resort, probably big resort. And then we're going to get right here. This is going to be the main gate. And then over here is probably going to be, I know I hate to say this, it's probably going to be a castle, because that's what they have at Disney World. So I'm probably going to end up doing a big castle here, a giant castle. And then from this part, we're going to go out into different worlds, right? So there will be like maybe Fantasyland and maybe, I don't even know, Sci-Fi Land or something like that. So there's going to be probably the main area, which is going to be this sort of main island here, and Animal Kingdom and other stuff. So, but this is going to be what we work on today, this main street. And Main Street's actually going to be kind of weird because of the formation of the land. I want to keep the land kind of how it is. The land's going to, so Main Street's going to come up here heading towards the castle, but then it's going to divide. It's going to go this way and it's going to go this way. And those are going to be the main streets with some rides and stuff like that. But this is going to be where a lot of the shops are and all that kind of stuff. So I think probably I should start laying out some of the ideas. I might flatten the land just a little bit. I'm flying out to the Pirate Kingdom to get my beacon, because I'm going to want a beacon for a lot of digging. I'm going to be, I think, probably using deep slate as one of the main sort of blocks for the road, probably just because you get all the variants with deep slate. So I'm probably going to use a lot of like the cobbled deep slate variants down on the road, and then probably, I'm looking at pictures, probably like a granite sort of sidewalk, at least for the Main Street area, just to bring in some color and make it look really cool. Might change that up later on, but first I gotta get this beacon and get it back, because I'm gonna have to dig just so much. Oh man, so much digging. Man, oh man, I do not want to do this. I'm kind of kicking and screaming my way into doing this next part, and I'm gonna have to basically flatten this. The more I look at this terrain, the more I love it, and also the more I realize that this amusement park's got to be not flat, but it's got to be gentle rolling hills. And look at the difference. Look at the height difference. It's like 6 height, 7 even from water. So yeah, I'm going to have to bring most of these areas down. Now I did get my beacon, so I can put this down wherever is sort of in the middle. But unfortunately, all these high points here for this whole entire area have got to be cleared. So I think, man, I hate to do it, but I think that's going to be probably, let's do a landscaping time lapse. All right, well, let's do it. I think I have most of the ground spread out. There's a couple things I didn't do, like this mound over there, and there's one over there that I didn't, because these may end up becoming like features, because they're far enough off the main drag here that I think that it would be okay. The next thing I want to do is go get some deep slate and start the main road. I'm going to be building the main gates here shortly, but I want to have sort of the main road laid out, because the main road has to be straight. This nether portal, by the way, I made nether portal. This goes back to New Hope and now connects to my nether pathway. So this is probably how you're going to zone in. We'll probably make a little bit more of a dramatic portal here, but this is going to be the idea. Portal there, and then you're going to come in here and go through the main gates. There might be like ticket gates over there, and then like the main gates here, and then it's going to be a straight shot right to the end of this little island with sort of offshoots over there going to different areas. But this has to be a straight shot. And I want to make sure it's big enough, because one of the things I want to do is I actually want to do a cable car. I'm not sure if I want to do the cable car going sideways or straight. Either way, I need to go get a ton of deep slate. So yeah, go mine up some deep slate and come back here and start to begin to think about how the design for this main strip is going to be. Boy, oh Boy, this island, I thought this was so big, but it's not that big. I've done a tiny little bit of Main Street here, and I'm almost to where, well, the eventual bridge, I think, will have to be. I could probably go a little bit further, but you can see, yeah, it's not that big. It took forever to clear, but if you look at it, we're going to deal with it. It's going to be okay. So the next thing I want to have is I want to have a major cross street here. And I don't know exactly how big I want it to be. I do want the corners to be, this one to be fairly like perpendicular, or 90 degrees, right? Yeah, that's perpendicular. So I don't know, maybe like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 wide? Does that seem right? And then we're gonna have shops and stuff on the sides of Main Street, like shops over there coming around the corner, and then we could start having some rides and things like that over there. Designing the rides is going to be a real headache and a real problem, but we'll figure that stuff out later. That'll be fun later, I think. Something like that. I've done some serious grind here, sort of intermittently through the day, and I built a storage building, and, you know, it looks okay. I'm going for amusement park like it was back in the day, like sort of coming out of the Middle Ages, kind of. I don't. It's like it's a mixture, right? It's a mixture of different styles. In the side here, nothing, because this is going to be another building right up next to it. Over here, I'm not totally sure. This may end up being the main gate or something. I may need to finish this building because this is kind of where the gate is going to be. That's going to be the next thing I work on. I did separate the path here. I put a little area here. I think I'm going to put a big flag here, but I'm not 100% sure. I want you to have a view of what's going to be the castle when you first walk in, but I do think a flag right in the middle would be cool. So then you just see it sort of off to the side. I really think that's going to work out really well. I'm starting to get a good feeling about this. I'm starting to really like it. These sidewalks are way too narrow. They need to be expanded quite a bit, but the beginning stages of this, yeah, okay. It's all right. When you come in here, it's just regular sort of storage building. This is going to be sort of my, what do you call it? Customer support. This is my customer support area here, you know, just like where I can keep all my stuff. The rest of the other places probably won't have a lot of finish to them on the inside, but yeah, this is okay. It's a good start. Next thing I want to do, though, is I want to do the gates, and I want to plan for the future on these gates. So I'm going to do gates, and then I want to able to be added a railroad to the roof, because we're going to have a railroad that's going to go all around this land. I don't know when we're going to build it necessarily, but I want to be able to put it. So the main gates here are going to have a very flat front. I'm kind of thinking maybe a sandstone mud kind of texture. So that's going to require me to go elsewhere to go get that stuff. I'm just about ready to start into my build here, and look, I got 2 visitors. I can't remember this ever happening before. I got 2 wandering traders in the same place. Weird, really weird. I like it. I'm not totally sure. I went ahead and put this mud brick right here. I'm not sure I love it. I think I may end up taking that off of the arch and then doing something else with the arch. I think that's probably a little bit better. But the idea is pretty sound. Now, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to have to expand out to put where the railway will eventually go, because I want the railroad to pass directly over the heads of our incoming patrons. I think that's going to be a really cool look, and also really fun for when you're taking the railroad all over this kingdom. You'll get to see sort of the front gates and everything else. I really want to design the railroad to be really the major sort of sightseeing bit of this whole thing. So like anytime you want to see everything in the park, the railroad will show you everything. It's going to go through all the different districts and all that stuff. And you can just jump on and take it everywhere you want to go. So yeah, I think this is a good start. Next thing I want to do is start expanding out for the railroad. I think I'm going to go Blackstone, though I may regret that because it's so painful to get. That brings me up to a farm. Oh, should we do the farm? I guess we probably should. Let's take a break from this and do a farm. Yeah, that's right. I'm here in the Nether doing the thing I've been dreading ever since I sort of envisioned this project, and that is a gold farm. It's time to do a gold farm. I've been thinking about it for a long time, and it's time to actually just go ahead and bite the bullet and do it. So to do that, I'm going to need a lot of magmas, and a lot, like thousands, I think, maybe at least hundreds, many hundreds. And so I'm just going to follow a couple nether lakes around. I did not bring any potions of fire resist with me. I probably should have, but I'm just going to try to be really careful. We'll see if I regret that. I think I probably will. But yeah, I'm going to gather a ton of this. I have 5 shulkers. I'll fill those up and then see if that's enough. I have not looked at the material list that I'm going to need yet. I don't know. I'll probably end up just using one of the very standard sort of ring nether farms up on the roof. That's that's one of the reasons why I picked this location for the park, is because if you remember, I built a gas farm a while back, and the gas farm actually is on the nether roof. So I'm going to use that same portal to do the gas farm and the gold farm, and there's going to be actually a roller coaster that's going to get us there. So I think that could be a really cool thing. But unfortunately, yeah, I got to build this thing. So let's gather materials, and we'll see how it goes. My goodness, the grind is real. So I got a whole bunch of materials. I have 3 full chests of magma blocks, a little extra too, and I have, I think, hopefully everything I need to take with me. Now we are headed to the nether roof. I'm not sure exactly where this farm is going to go, because I want to put it near my amusement park. However, I have learned that this farm must be in a nether waste biome. So I'm going to go up on the roof and start to just search around looking for a big, long nether waste biome. Oh, look, this is going to be... Oh, man, I can't wait to get this amusement park going. So my portal for the nether roof is just over here somewhere, and I can move this around a little bit as needed. I think it's like right here. Where the heck is it? Okay, the nether portal is a little further away than I wish it were. Let me show you on the map here. The nether portal is actually like way over here, and I wish it were kind of like here. So I'm going to actually move it, and to move it I need to get obsidian. So I found a ruined nether portal just because I don't want to fly the tiny little bit over there. I don't know why. I could have easily gotten this elsewhere, but I'm just being lazy. I'm 1 obsidian shy, so I'm going to fly around and find another used or another ruined nether portal here, and then I'm going to move my portal. I'm going to leave this one open and make another one actually kind of over near the amusement park, so that's going to be a better way to get up to the nether roof, I think. I just have to have the stuff. Eventually we are going to get the amusement park probably over to this area, but not quite yet. Okay, I think I have everything. Wish me luck. I'm headed to the nether roof. I mean, what could go wrong? Nothing, right? Yeah, so over here, this is my gas farm, which is actually really, really good. It's a really awesomely effective gas farm. I just realized, because my render distance is cranked, that right there, that's the nether side of my guardian farm. Remember this? It's funny how close everything is in the nether. It's right there. This is what sends the guardians from like the farm up to the airship. I totally forgot. Okay. Well then. Well then. I don't even know. What is this? I don't even know what is this? What is this thing right here? Is this, oh, this is my AFK spot, right? This is my AFK spot for the gas farm. So what I need to do next is I need to find another waste. I would like to find it near the coordinates of my farm. So, I may need to go back to the overworld and write down some coordinates. Goodness, the grind is finally over, and I can't even use another rocket right now, but yeah, I got a gold farm and it's working really well. This was about, I don't know, like maybe less than 10 minutes of grind. And the next thing I'm gonna have to add is an auto sorter so I can start to get sort of all the pieces that I want in the right places, because I did learn that I can AFK there after I get started. Entity cramming is a thing, and that's going to be sort of my secret. So I'm gonna head back and get all the things I need for an item sorter, and then I guess come back and make an item sorter, and then we're gonna have to break a hole in the ceiling, and I'm gonna have to set up a Piglin trading farm. Well, the next phase of this little project is I have got to figure out an automatic sorting system for this, and I think I got all the materials I need, I think. This is, by the way, I'll be following a miniature. I'll link it in the channel description for all this stuff. So I have everything I need, I think, because I want to get rid of all this stuff because it just compiles so quickly. I'm going to head on up there and get everything all laid out, and I'll show you the sorting system. This is going to be a lot of just following. Now, the sorting system itself is going to be down here, which is going to be super sweet. That way I can eventually do a road that's going to follow these flames back to sort of the nether roof hub, if you will. I mean, its own hub. There is a way to get up here somewhere. I don't really know where it is from the main ice road, but the ice road is close to here. Okay, so I think I followed the tutorial right. I hope so. I hope I did. And yeah, this is what we got. So I got this area right here all set up and ready to go. I should be getting rotten flesh, gold ingots, and gold nuggets, and then all the stuff should be smelted as long as I have fuel. And if there's one thing I have a lot of, it's coal. So Yeah, I'm just gonna give this a shot and see if it works. I'm a little skeptical, but if it works, cool. If it works, in fact, I'll probably do like a second one right beside it and sort of separate my stuff because it's all coming through a dropper. So I could maybe have twice as much, but I'm gonna go up and kill a bunch of piglin and just see if this works. All right, we'll check it out together in just a second. Well, I gotta say, it's working perfectly, but it is way slow as far as getting rid of 3 full chests from this farm, because this farm is incredibly fast. So I'm definitely gonna have to double or even triple size the actual smelting area. But after 10, maybe 12 minutes of AFK, I got 34 ingots and a lot. That's about a stack per line, right? That's exactly a stack per line. So yeah, so I got a lot. I got a lot of nuggets and stuff. So, it's pretty good. It's not bad after 15 minutes. If I AFK here, maybe with my other account, which I do sometimes, that should be cool. I did have a little bit of an issue up there where that hopper was facing the wrong way, so I was getting a lot of rotten flesh in these furnaces, but that's now been taken care of. I don't think I'm getting any more rotten flesh, and yeah, it's still dropping. You can't really see it very often, but every couple seconds, more items are just falling down here because I had a huge backlog up there. But as you can see, this sorter is faster than the actual dropper situation up there. So it has to go through a cobweb apparently, so it drops in a very specific line. I guess one thing I could do is I could just build like a glass column to keep everything right in the same line. I guess that would work. Then I could actually get rid of the cobwebs, but I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what the holdup is actually. Yeah, this is pretty crazy. I mean, I'm just standing here. I was just getting ready to leave. I thought, well, I should get some more gold before I go, because the next thing I want to do is going to be a bartering farm, and I have another tutorial that I want to follow with that. I'm going to put that on my nether path, so it's not going to be really that close to my gold farm, so it's going to be kind of one of those things where I need to kind of come here and get the gold and then go back. And this is just because of my nether generation, because everywhere remotely close to a place I have built is not nether waste, and this has to be in a nether waste biomes. I'm back in New Hope now, and I'm shearing pumpkins. I forgot that I had this pumpkin farm. I was just right ahead at the end. They thought, oh, wait a second, I think I have some here in New Hope. And I gotta tell you, I'm really thinking about doing another underground farm over in the amusement park, because I'm gonna be there for a long time, and it'd be nice to have crops growing there, but I don't think I need to. Everything's so close in this world, I can always just come back. I'm going to take these carved pumpkins because I want to have jack-o'-lanterns. Well, no, I'm sorry, not jack-o'-lanterns. Carved pumpkins they are for the piglin, because that stops them from despawning if they wear them, I think. And I think they will automatically put them on, I think. I'm not totally sure, so we're going to check that out beforehand. But at least the tutorial that I've been watching about this piglin breeding hall, trading hall thing, it says that if you do this, then they'll wear that. So, okay. So I'm going to grab these, get all the materials I need, and then we're going to find the perfect place in the nether to do this little bit of a farm here. I think this is the perfect spot for it. So you're just going to be coming down the tunnel, going this way to wherever. I found a spot in the Crimson Forest, which is going to be probably a little bit easier to find these piglin to jam in here. It's going to be a 3 piglin bartering farm. I feel like that's going to be enough. It's a single player world after all. I don't need to gather materials for the whole of a server. So yeah, should be good. I'm going to dig out a little place right here, get my 3 piglin in, and then do the sorting system sort of down yonder, down that way, okay? So, we have pirates. Just a few days ago, we lost a second ship to this bandit crew and has severely hampered our ability to sustain ourselves, let alone grow. While we work on a navy, I can't even believe I'm saying that, I have Baron Watt taking the airship out to search for a pirate base. He spent some time with them as a child, so perhaps he can track down where they are now. Before he left, Baron Watt told me about a pirate and Fist of the Dragon war that happened many years before I arrived here. I went to talk to the Breath about it, but he had already departed for Perseverance to check on Mr. Grady. In the meantime, we need people, like a lot of people. I had a thought. Though most of the people in the immediate area have come to join or at least ally with us, if only we could bring word of what we're doing here to the far outside area, maybe we could recruit many more. Back when I was a kid, before moving from original Earth to the asteroid field with my parents to mine there, they took me to a place called Disney World. It was known throughout our entire system. People came from everywhere to see it. I think I'm going to build an amusement park. It actually works. These guys are bartering like crazy. I mean, they're not super fast because I only have 6 in there. I was thinking originally about maybe getting like 30, but honestly, it took forever to get those 6. So I think we're just gonna deal with 6 and just, you know, take it easy. Luckily, I planted some food in this tunnel because I am out of food and I don't feel like going back. I did throw jack-o'-lanterns on all their heads. I can't remember if I showed you that or not. It's so they won't despawn. Things seem to be good, I think. Now I need to get a stairway because up there is where you put in the gold, and then it goes down here, and this thing just seems to cycle. I mean, I'm just getting pretty constant stuff. It's gonna be really awesome to get these potions of fire resistance because I always get like too lazy to actually make it. Also, soul speed. I've never had soul speed before. That's freaking awesome. I can't wait to do that yet. And I want to get that sneaking enchant too. But yeah, this is absolutely awesome. So while this is going, because I do have like 12 or 13 stacks of gold in there, it's going to take a while. I think it's like 6 seconds per trade. So while these guys are just kind of, oh, you know what? That can go away. That's, you know what? That's why. It's been a little messed up. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's what's going on here. I had to lock that hopper because I was throwing the jack-o'-lanterns down. I forgot about that. It was like, it doesn't seem to be working perfectly, but I think it is now. Oh yeah, that torch was messing everything up. Anyway, it's working now. That's cool. So I'm going to work on sort of decorating this a little bit, and I do want to do a storage area over here for all this stuff. So that's why I put this up in the air, even though it looks a little weird right now, because I wanted this hopper to be here, so that way I can just have hoppers come down here and just go into the automatic storage into just chests labeled with what is in it of all these things. And you get a lot of things. Look at all this gravel. You get a lot of different trades. So I'm going to need a lot of different chests for all this. And then I do want to trash some of the stuff. Like I'm going to want to trash some things. For example, string. I definitely want to trash string because I get it from the mob farm and I don't need it anymore. But yeah, this is a great start. Okay, in just the time it took me to design this little bit of a sort of facade where I hid all the hoppers and stuff in between and got everything working. Everything's working great. The only thing that I can't do with this setup is these things. Actually, iron nuggets I could, but everything else I can't because this system won't do single items. But whatever. Check it out. I have this much blackstone and a bunch of gravel, spectral arrows, which I might start using actually. They seem pretty fun. I'm gonna start using them right now. Gold ingots, leather. I mean, things are good here. The way that I decided to come up here, this is where you can put the gold in. A little awkward, but that's just where it has to be. And you come in here if you need to get to the guts. I left that open because you gotta press this button to start the trade. And once it starts the trade, then apparently it keeps on cycling, but you need that to start it. So, that all being said, why did we do this all? Why did I start this giant ordeal? Well, it's actually because I want Blackstone for the theme park entrance for the trains. That's actually why I started this whole thing. So now I can actually start. I can go back to let's build a theme park, shall we? Working back here in the theme park finally after so many sidetracks. And actually, believe it or not, I still have one more farm that I really kind of need to do this episode. We'll see if we get to it. The reason why I want gold is not just for the Piglin trades though, because I'm going to have roller coasters here and probably quite a few of them. And that's going to require powered rails. And I don't want to have to farm all that gold manually. So now the gold farm is great. The auto sorter for the gold farm is great. The Piglin bartering hall is fairly slow, but it's nothing that a little AFK can't solve. Here's the main gate so far. I think I'm very close to where the train track is eventually going to be. I'm not building that today, or at least not now, but I'm going to be putting up the roof next. And I think these supports are good. These sort of blackstone supports make it really look like there's something very structural holding that in. Yeah, I think it's cool. I may end up adding in some flowers. I do want to have this very lush. Like this should be a very, very lush amusement park. So I have the sidewalk now worked out a little bit more. The main gates are close, but I am going to need some fences. So we'll make some sort of, or do I want to use iron? No, I think, what do I want to use here to keep people separate? So I made these 5 on purpose so that I could have fences here, because you know how that is. There's like gates. There'd be a person standing here. They check IDs and whatever, you know, as people walk in. So, you know, I think I'm going to go with wood. I think I'd like to keep this fairly rustic. Again, we're not going for a modern amusement park. We're going for something that's kind of back in the day. I noticed a glaring counting error in my main gate design here. And yeah, it's that I have 1, 2, 2, and over here I have 1, 2, and then a big gap here. Yeah, so I made a mistake. So this gate actually is going to be a 1 block bigger, and that's okay. Maybe that'll be for like accessibility reasons or whatever. So I think that's going to look cool. Sometimes I have noticed in some of my pictures that I've Googled, the middle gate is actually bigger, so I think that's actually going to work out really well. So what I need to do is I need to move this blackstone sort of support beam over here. I need to move it to here. I need to move it to right here. So unfortunately I'm making a giant mess, but hopefully it won't be too bad to sort out. I think I can probably handle it. Here at the old Guardian farm because I need to get a whole bunch of dark prismarine. I think that's what I'm going to do the gates in. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's going to be probably a nice look. And to do that, I need to get, well, you know, all the prismarine. This is just so expensive. It's so very expensive. I wish it wasn't, but it is. So I'm going to take back a lot of this. I'm also going to take the sea lantern parts too, because I'm thinking that I may end up utilizing a lot of sea lantern too, so why not? Also, my chests are basically clogged, so I guess I should just take everything. Fortunately, I didn't actually have to do any killing because I had so much materials in my chest. So many materials in my chest? I'm not sure how to say that. And regardless, I'm going to head over to the ink farm now and just grab some black ink. I may have to AFK there for a minute because I think I cleared it out last time I was working over in Steelport. I'm not sure. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful entrance to this park. Oh, I really, really like it. So, you know, one thing that I'm going to really endeavor to do in this build is not do a lot of sort of texturing like that. I'm going to make things look pretty pristine, I think, meaning a lot of solid colors, solid walls. I mean, like this, that's a little different. But as far as, you know, like doing gradients on the roofs and stuff, I don't see myself doing that outside of something like the castle or something. But this is a great entranceway. I really, really like it. I may end up doing a gate here. I'm kind of thinking maybe this should just be iron bar gate. I think that could be kind of cool. As if like maybe this could open for cars if they need to get cars, if they have cars. I'm having a little bit of a heart attack right now. This center thing is wrong. Oh no. Is my entire... Oh no. Wait a second. What? This isn't centered. I have to move this whole thing. No! Oh man. I decided to do something a little bit different. I hope this isn't controversial, but I want to do a logo right in here. And so when you walk right in the front, there's like, bam, logo right in your face. And we're gonna have it shown from both sides. So I made sure that it was symmetrical. I did a little bit of a paint program on Windows, just come up with an F and a V because we're naming our park. And I did ask on Discord what the best name for a park is. And the choice that won by a lot was Fixxiland, because I do want to go FixxiVerse, FixxiVorld, something like that. I'm not going to do Fixxiland though, because I have a better idea. I want to do FixxiVerse, and the reason why I want to do FixxiVerse is because I think that since I've been calling that my sort of connected universe for some time now, I just think that would be really cool. So, yeah, so we're oh, darn it, I didn't, oh no, I did mean to, okay. So I think we're going to go with that. Anyway, yeah, so sorry about asking you like a poll and then disregarding your opinion, but I think it's better. I think it would be cool to call this FixxiVerse, because then what we'll have is within the park, the different sections, there'll be universes. So we'll have like the medieval verse, and we'll have the you know, sci-fi verse and all that kind of stuff. I think it would be really cool. So I got this thing done. I think it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool logo. So when you walk in, again, I'm going for scale. I want to go for awe. So I really like how you walk in this gate, and yeah, I'm going to work out this later, but you walk in through the gate here and boom, you see the giant FixxiVerse logo. I think it's really, really cool. I really like it. I should actually draw that. I think it's a very simple and cool logo. FV, FixxiVerse, cool. So the next thing that I want to do also, by the way, I copied on the other side right there. Yeah, it looks good. I do need to light this up, and I'm going to do that later on. I do want to come up with like a lamppost design and trees and all that kind of stuff. But before we get any further, I want to work out a little bit more of Main Street here, and that probably means another building probably about here, and then I'll do a diagonal building there. So we got one building here, one building there. Let's do a couple. Maybe we'll yeah, we'll go for a different palette. All right, well, I brought in a kind of a blue-purple sort of thing. Terracotta colors are so weird, and I think it's a nice addition here. Check out the back. Yeah, that's right. We're doing the YouTube thing. No, I'm not going to do all facades. I will do some things because I don't want you to walk in here on the world download and be like, oh, wow, Fix, you could have tried harder. No, I'll do some sort of probably what I'll do, honestly, is I'll probably do a very narrow little storefront or something like that right here, and then just empty space in the back, right? So from above, it'll look like it's a full size, but when you walk in, there's just like this much space. I think that probably makes the most sense and is the most sustainable way to just do a lot of stores. But yeah, it's nice. It's very simple. Very simple. I wanted to keep it basically flush with that building over there because the next one coming in is going to be this diagonal sort of shape, and I want to make sure that it's this flat, and then the diagonal is going to stick out. Then we'll do another flat one here, and then probably a corner store over there. So yeah, we're getting there. This is starting to have a pretty cool feeling. I really like the height. I like the scale of everything. I think that's really nice. Like when you walk in, if you just pretend like that's not just empty space, when you walk in, you feel like, oh, cool, I'm in like some sort of a shopping area. This is really nice. Okay, I really like it so far. Very, very, very nice. Should we do another shop or should I get onto a ride? I don't know. Maybe another shop. Let's try to get at least to the corner. Let's do another one. Well, I think I got my first quote-unquote ride done, and let me show you, I had to do a lot of work here to get this done. The outside is kind of that marquee thing. It's supposed to be a theater. This is the exit, so if you walk over here to the entrance, you're going to walk over here, and there's a little bit of a queue. I think this is how I'm probably going to do the queue. So you walk through here. It's nice. It's hidden. It's kind of hidden inside the building, which I think is a nice touch. I may end up doing some paintings. I think I probably will do some paintings in here to show like movie poster sort of ideas. I don't have any wool here at the moment, but I'm actually AFKing on my other account right now at the wool farm just so I can get some wool saved up. And then you walk in here and there's the theater. So yeah, you just walk in here. So everyone would come this direction and then you just come in, take your seat, sit here, watch the movie. And then when the movie's over, then you just get up and you go leave this way and you walk out the exit. I think it's a pretty nice thing. As soon as I get some wool, I'll do some movie posters. But yeah, we have our first official thing, and it's cool because it's not only does it have a completed interior, but also it's a diagonal building, which is really, really cool. Now over here, hello? Wow, you got up close and personal. Ah, you're too close. So over here, we're going to be doing a nice big corner store, which is not going to be quite as big as I had hoped. Honestly, I kind of wanted it to be bigger, but this theater took more room than I had anticipated. So we'll have to work on that in just a minute here. But yeah, these zombies are, mobs are pretty relentless. But I want to show it to you at night because I really like sort of the atmosphere that's growing here. This really needs to be lit up, and I'll deal with that shortly. I don't really have a good plan of how to light up the sign yet. Still working on that in my head. I'm starting to lay out this next sort of corner area here. It's going to be another store. So I have I got a sort of customer support building, a store, a ride of sorts, even though it's just a movie, but you know what I mean, like an interactive thing. And then I'm going to do a store, and then as we wrap around, we'll do more things. But I think this will be the last one I do in this strip, and then we'll sort of break over to that side, or actually I want to get into a ride next. So we'll probably put a ride right next to this store. I'm kind of thinking maybe a water ride. That could be really fun, like a boat ride could be cool. So all the rides I want to do, there are going to be two kinds of rides I want to do in this world. Actually, while I'm talking, I'm going to fly over to New Hope because I want to get a couple flowers I want to be able to reproduce. All the rides I'm going to be doing in this world, they're going to be two kinds. One is going to be functional rides, so all the roller coasters are going to be mine carts that you can actually ride on, the train, mine carts, that kind of stuff. Some rides will be just aesthetic rides, like if I want to make like a Ferris wheel, obviously I don't have like the create mod in this pack. I'm not going to add it because in this world, this is a vanilla world, other than a couple resource packs that I have, that I made myself. So I'm not going to be adding create or anything like that to this world. I don't want to. I just don't want to do that. I wanted to keep this world vanilla completely. But we can do some aesthetically cool looking rides that just like look cool that you walk by. But then also we'll do some rides that you can actually get on, like a boat ride would be cool, like an ice boat racetrack, things like that. Minecart races, horse races, definitely all that kind of stuff. So there will be a bunch of interactive stuff. So when you grab the world download, you can actually go in and play and ride all this stuff. But there will be other things that you just kind of got to look at and use your imagination. You can ride it in your own mind's eye. You know what I mean? All right. So I'm here because I want to get sunflowers. I want to get all the too tall flowers if I can. Let's see. I just need one, and I want to grab a bunch of bones, which may require me going over to Steelport to get. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, I don't know. I have a spore blossom. Although now that I have a couple lush caves, now I can actually get more. That's kind of cool. really nice start, I think, to this turn. It was a little tricky. It was a little tricky to kind of get around the corner here, but I think it's nice. And I like how it's inset, makes this a little bit wider. I think what this might be is a restaurant. That, however, does bring up the problem of where would the kitchen be. So if I want to do a kitchen, I can't do it behind. So that means the kitchen's going to have to be here. And I do want to at least have a place. Look, I'm not going to go crazy in the interiors, but at least I do want to have like a place where, you know, a kitchen could hypothetically be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this area into two areas. We're going to have a queue on the outside here for the ride that we're going to build over there, and a kitchen right here. I think that would work really well. So this just gonna have to be like a sort of here, like this will be sort of the break-in zone, and then yeah, this would be nice. So we'll just do tables out here, maybe a little counter where they can make their order, and then yeah, we'll do a kitchen. That should be nice. I have the inside of the restaurant done. I think it looks really nice. I mean, it's very simple, obviously, but yeah, little door to the kitchen. I hate to even show you this because it's just slab. Ignore that. So yeah, this is done. Some booths, some hanging lights. I brought in the ceiling because I wanted it to be just a little bit lower. I just felt like the ceiling was too cavernous, and I think this build is really nice. So now we got officially in our amusement park, we have a restaurant, a grading sign, main gates. We have a administration building, a gift shop, and a theater. I think now finally it's time to add a ride. Let me show you the queue that I've already worked out over here, because this is the side of the kitchen over there. I'll probably do something with that wall. Right now I just kind of roughed it in. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I'm going to need to run this sidewalk and road out along this area and then make room for the ride that's going to have to go right over there. I think it's going to be really fun. It's going to be an indoor water boat ride that I think could be cool. It's going to take a lot of time because I'm going to have to actually come up with a theme and stuff. So let's put all my stuff away, do some thinking, and then we'll come back and start designing this ride. You know, kind of like the pirate video that I did just last one, where I did, you know, 50 hours, this is more like 60 hours in a Pirate Kingdom. I feel the same way with this one. Like, I want to get to sort of the more polished stage, and I understand that it's going to take a while because we're doing a lot of building and a lot of roughing in first, where normally what I would do for a single video is I would just build one of these things and then I would detail it completely with all the landscaping and all that stuff and wrap it up. But in this case, it doesn't make sense to do the detailing stage until at least a big portion of this park is done. So that being said, I'm anxious a little bit. I'm a little bit anxious because, you know, I want to make it look beautiful, and right now it looks less than beautiful, you know, but it's okay. I just got to trust the process and keep putting down all the blocks, right? I trust the process. That's what I got. That's what I tell everyone else. Everyone's like, hey, how do I get better at building? Ooh, that's going to be a mob farm. And I say, trust the process. Well, I got to tell myself that now too. Well, that rainbow is a sign that it is time to start building my first ride. That's right, we got to get going here. So I brought some dirt over. I think I'm going to rough it in with dirt. And I'm just planning on a simple little boat ride. Nothing extreme, nothing too intense, because I don't have that much room. If you take a look at the map right here, this island is going to be sort of my sort of Main Street USA, to borrow a Disney term, I think. And then once I go off, these are going to be different themes. Like this will be like a castle theme. This will be maybe Fantasyland. This might be like the Animal Land. This might be something. They'll all be different things. But that means I don't have that much room here to actually build this ride. So if this is where the queue is coming in, say they'll come and walk into about, I don't know, like here-ish. I'd like to have this roughly the same height as well. So if it's here, we could have stairs going up. So this could be like the water level on top of this, right? So, okay. So then what we need to do is we need to sort of work out how we're going to get this wrapped around. And I don't want to go too close to the wall because I'm going to have a different wall there so we can actually have themed areas. Now my plan for building this first, this is going to be the start. We're heading this direction to start. So we'll just come out this way and we're going to wrap around, go nice and slow. Then we're going to go up and then we're going to go down very quickly. That's going to be the drop. It's going to have one drop, simple little place. So you're going to get in your boat here and you're going to go this way. All right, I got to work this out.
I read a story today. I'll try to relay it as best as I can remember for our records. There once was a man named Suthami. The man, wearing a yellow cloth and branches in his hair, wandered in the jungle for many years until one day he found a road. Not knowing how this road came to be, Suthami decided to follow it. He followed it for days and weeks, weaving in and out of the dense jungle until one day he came to a crossroads. Rather than see the crossroads as two roads intersecting, and being a wise man, Suthami saw 4 roads, and thus 4 choices of which way to go. He sat down and thought about his choice. Eventually, he saw another figure come walking up a different road. It was an elderly woman, dressed in red. This was shocking to Suthami, as he thought he might be the only person in the entire world.
Well, that was a grind and a half, wasn't it? So I got this area all kind of set up, getting ready to get all closed in. I have some thoughts. I'm going to explain to you the thoughts after we ride, but I think we should do a test ride. Should we? Shall we? Ready? Let's go. Let's do a test ride. Now, this is meant to be a fairly slow ride, so it's not wide open. I wanted you to kind of bump against the walls and control your speed and all that kind of stuff. So we go down a level there, works really nicely. Up a little level right there. Maybe, is that going to work? It did work before in my testing. There we go. Okay. Little clunky, but okay, it works. It is Minecraft after all. Then we're going to come around here. Check this out. There's going to be decorations everywhere. This ride is going to be called Escape from the Soul Sand Valley. And once you get up here, you're getting towards your escape. And you're like, oh, I might be free. You see, it's like a nether waste biome. So it kind of, I will light this up a little bit, but I want it to be kind of dark and creepy. So we'll put in some glowstone hanging from the ceiling. You know, maybe some soul fire too. But this whole ride's going to be very dark because it's all going to be closed in, except for right about here. And this is where there's going to be a shock. And I'm going to show you the shock later. But you're like, oh no, go, I got to get out of here. That's right. A giant fall into a lake, and now you're outside. So this will actually be outside here where the sun's going to be coming down, and then you're going to come around here, and that's it. That's the ride. I think it's a great ride, right? I think it's an awesome starter ride. This is going to be where you get in. That's going to be where you get off, so we'll do a little bit of a exit platform over there. Things should be good. I like this a lot, but now I got to add walls, and I'm not really sure what kind of walls I want to add. I want to add something that looks good from out here for sure. Maybe we'll do the facade. Maybe we'll do the facade first, but if I'm going to do that, unfortunately, that means this road, yeah, I got to extend it first, and that means I got to do some landscaping. So let me get rid of this this little hill here, and extend the road more. The next stage of this, I'm going to need a lot of netherrack to bring in all the walls of this Escape from the Soul Sand Valley. So I'm going to do some major netherrack farming. I thought, well, I might as well go get some netherite too, since the 1.20, the change of how expensive netherite tool is going to get to be a lot more. So I came over to my farm because I just remembered before I head down there, I have a lot of potions, I think I do. Yeah, I have a lot. I got a lot of potions. Okay, so I got all these potions of fire resist, which is kind of cool. In fact, actually, you know what I should do? What I should do is I should bring an alchemy station over here. Wonder if I can I make one here? Okay, I'm going to go get an alchemy station, because then we could just brew them up and go from the 3 minutes to 8 minutes, which is a lot better, of course. So, yeah, I'll go get an alchemy station. Okay, that was a quick little trip over, and I got the blaze powder, and now I think, oh man, I hope I'm right about this, but I'm pretty sure this is going to give me 8-minute fire resistance, and now I can take my 5 shulkers, head down deep underground. I like to mine for netherite down at the very bottom, and see how many ancient debris I can come up with before I fill these 5 shulkers, okay? Well, wish me luck. Question or comment of the day comes from Dragonborn Express. So, when the Tepid Kingdom reaches the age of infrastructure, am I correct to presume one of the builds later on will be a locomotive works or something to that effect? Could even have trams running through New Hope or Sandgill, which wouldn't be that outlandish, as several European settlements already did this IRL on a regular basis and still do it to this day. So I want to talk a little bit about sort of my plans for this world, because, you know, we are getting close to 4,000 days and then 5,000 after that. And well, you know how numbers work. And one of the things that I don't plan on doing is going back to old kingdoms and rehabbing them, because in the end, this is still a Minecraft series. I mean, I think I have a really unique and cool lore take on it, but I still want to build stuff in Minecraft. So if I want to build medieval, I want to have a medieval city without a bunch of electric wires and stuff going over. Even though, yeah, in real life, IRL, people would sort of evolve with the times. I don't plan on these people doing that, because I might come up with an idea of like, hey, let's do like an African tribal village, you know? And so I might do stuff that's sort of, quote, older than where we are technologically advanced, but you know, the overarching story is going to be going sort of up and up and up and up. By the way, check out this ride. Is this cool or what? I mean, it looks so good and immersive. I just love it so much. So, you know, Sandgill will always just sort of be a sort of medieval fishing village. New Hope will always be my main medieval city or town or whatever, and then as we get more advanced, then we have the industrial city of Steelport. And then eventually we're going to have some stuff on the moon and probably even a futuristic city way further down the road. But, you know, that's kind of where my head is right now. Let's keep it fun and keep it mixing up the different styles. I just filled 5 shulker boxes, taking down a few of these big nether fortress pillars, and I have to show for it this much. I got basically 2 double chests full of nether bricks, which is really nice, but that's not all. The next thing I need is I want a bunch of basalt, because I don't want to do just nether brick. I think that's going to be boring. I mean, I know that's how the vanilla fortresses are, but I don't want to do just that. So I'm headed back. Oh, I went my shulkers. I'm headed back to the nether because I want to get some basalt and blackstone. And luckily, I know just the basalt delta to find. Oh, I hate my nether spawn. It's so terrible. I'm so annoyed at myself. I was frustrated with how long it's taking to do this basalt. And I thought, hey, you know what? I have a couple nether stars just sort of sitting extra. You know, I should just put a beacon here in the nether. So I took all the time, and it was, believe me, it was painful to find a spot that goes all the way down to bedrock and that I can get up to the nether without hitting one of these enormous lava lakes. I put the beacon down over there, right by spawn, and it doesn't reach to the place where I need to dig. I'm such a dolt. I can't believe it. So yeah, it reaches to like right there. So I've been working on, this is actually the mining desert, and this is the FixxiVerse amusement park portal. So I want to eventually do this. So I have to widen it and heighten it so I can, you know, extend the tunnel this way. So it looks very nice and beautiful. But unfortunately, I'm still, even though I have a beacon right over there, like right there, basically, I still have to dig this out very slow. I'm such an idiot. I thought 50 blocks was closer. Oh, geez, this guy's gonna blow up my my ice. Just when you thought the grind was over, I had to go grind for a bunch of sandstone, and oh, hey, creeper, and I made some walls. So before I start working on this netherite exterior here, I have to make sure that I have walls, because I don't want to have to build this thing the whole way down the ground if realistically you're never going to see it. It just doesn't make sense. It's a waste. So this is actually the beginning of, well, yeah, look how many skeletons there are. There's a million. This entire park's main wall. Now, each kingdom will have each section of the park will have its own theme, but this is the one that I started with the main gates here, so I figured it was kind of made sense to keep going here. I'm probably going to decorate these a little bit more over time, but for right now, the roughed in, the reason why I wanted them roughed in is so I know how far down I need to bring the facade that's going to go over these giant big boxes. Also, I had to extend the railroad tracks because I got to make sure that I don't put a ride in front of them. Now, they will turn and they will change elevation slightly, but I don't want it to be abrupt, right? This is supposed to kind of resemble a real train, even though it's just going to be minecarts. So there is a little bit of an elevation change that had to happen here because I got in this weird area of where it was like kind of there and kind of on the roof, so I just brought it up to the roof. And what we'll do is we'll end up doing something kind of scenic here. Who knows, maybe even a railway station, though I think I'd rather make that a little bit more of a feature rather than just stick it up on the roof. You know, we want to show off all the cool things and not just jam in something hidden. So Now that I have landscaped all over here, this whole thing has a base to it. The next thing is going to be start to figure out the facade. But before I do that, I got to bring the dirt down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this dirt down just to the top of this wall. And is that a little cheaty? Sure it is. But amusement parks are all about disguising things, right? So we're going to disguise the fact that this is a big facade and bring dirt down all along here so that way I know exactly where to build this facade. Originally, I wasn't planning on having a wall here. I was going to just put supports and sort of leave this freestanding, but it just didn't really work with the way the ride was, the way the twist and the thing goes. I wanted a little bit more soul sand there, so that's why that wall is sort of in the middle of the netherite path. I'm starting to really think that I should have maybe put this in Adventureland in the upcoming like fantasy sort of section of this park, because it's very sort of mysterious and dark and creepy and stuff, but I made a change. I was going to use sea lanterns just because they're free for me. They're basically very cheap, but yeah, fire's so much better, so much more interesting. I am really enjoying this build. I really like the progress over here. This gotta work on that. That's the railroad, but I'm not in a railroad stage right now, so I just sort of roughed in something right there to make it pass between the buildings. Now, I think what I'm gonna do, and I'm not totally sure about this, but this building, I have this side completely done and this side completely done. The other sides, I don't, because I don't know exactly yet what's going on over here, and I hate to spend all the time making this a nice facade and then just putting a building next to it. So I don't know what's going on over there, because we're going to take a break from this area of the park. But there's one more thing I have to do before we tap out of over here, and that's work on this monstrosity that's gross and that over there. And I don't think I want them to be like this. I don't want too much of this, right? Like, it looks really cool. Adding it back there, I think would be overkill. And this can be anything because it's just a building facade. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe make it just look like, I don't know, like maybe a medieval sort of keep or castle or something, just to sort of blend in. Since it's going to be towering over some of these buildings anyway, we're just going to do a facade. I don't like it being just the big wall of stone and cobble. I think it's just too much. I'm trying to find a place where you can see there. You can see it right there. So I think what we're going to do is just do a regular old sort of castle facade. Very simple, just straight up castle over there, and maybe the same for right here, because I think when you're waiting in line, I don't think you want to see too much of that, especially because this building over here is not, that's actually the kitchen for this, so it doesn't need to be that. It can be anything. All right, so yeah, let's do some medieval building. I think I have these facades done at least on these sides where you can see. I love that you can see up there and see the ride sort of come out. I think that's just awesome. The glowstone adds everything. I'm really glad I added that. So yeah, I have these facades, I think, kind of done-ish for now. There's still some more things. I know the top of this is very flat. I got to work on that too, but I like this. Like, if you're walking through here, this is going to look like sort of an adventure area, you know, where the good guys in the castles are attacking the nether thing, and you're going to ride through there. Maybe we'll come up with a storyline of what, you know, what the purpose of the ride is. Like, oh, the nether people captured the princess, and you have to leave from the castle, go through here, get the princess, and then come back and save her. Something, I think that could be kind of fun and simple and very Disney-esque, right? Like, where you have sort of a mission. Now, I do want to add in a little bit more detail over here, just probably some lanterns and a little bit of glass, because I thought it'd be cool to be able to like look in here and see the kitchen, like see the people cooking, or even possibly they could serve some drinks, you know, maybe you could purchase some drinks. I didn't even figure out what the economy is of this world yet or not. Is everyone paying for stuff, or is this like a communist socialism? I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. We'll have to figure that out later on. I guess people have jobs, so I guess they're getting paid. So yay, capitalism. Okay, anyway, I'm going to work on more of this, adding in some lights, because it is very dark at night, and we'll see if we can get this done and move on to something new and exciting. I built some custom trees over here, and I think it looks pretty good. Just very simple. I can't really get back there, and that's, I guess, kind of a good thing in a park. But I mean, people wouldn't be going there anyway, so because that's the way you get off. Add a little nether patch over here. I think that adds to it as well. Sort of helps the immersion there. And then over here, this is where you've escaped the Soul Sand Valley, and you come down through this little sort of nature, peaceful little path. I did leave some flowers in there. I thought that might add to just the peaceful nature. Also, I moved this queue over by one because was I finished this area here, and I just need a little bit more space. There just wasn't quite enough room. I may come in here and get rid of some of this. I don't know. I wish that you could put fences on the border so it was not this way, but it might be okay. It might, I don't know. I may just wait and kind of see how I feel about it. But regardless, I think this ride is officially done. I think we're good with this ride and ready to move on to something else. What? I'm not sure yet. I need to do some thinking here. I'd like to build a roller coaster, but I don't really have a space for it yet. And I kind of wouldn't mind a break from building some of these houses on Main Street either. I need to sort of see what I'm feeling right now. I took down all of the trees on the center island. This is the castle island, because when you're walking down Main Street, we're going to do a sloping bridge that's going to go right up to a custom sort of, I don't want to call it a custom mountain. It's not going to be a mountain, but a series of cliffs that are going to surround a lot of this area. However, before we do that, I started digging out just a little bit of this river, because I do want this river to go through. The idea is there's going to be a steamboat, and this is just not big enough for any sort of reasonably sized boat to come through. I don't care about the depth. I can always bring in a conduit later if I can manage to get a conduit in this world, which I have not yet, but I can do the sort of bottom later. Right now I just want to go wide enough so it can, we can pretend like a boat could go through here, a big boat, a real boat. Like, you've been to amusement parks, right? Where they have those boats that maybe tell the jokes or whatever. Like, I think Jungle Cruise at Disney or Cedar Point has one. I can't remember what it's called at this point, but I used to love it when I was a kid, and we are, after all, I'm still a kid. Not a lot has changed. So I'm gonna widen this area up and make sure that it goes all the way around. If you take a look at the map, I do want this entire island to be completely covered. So it looks like we got a little narrow area up there, and there's some narrow areas. So I'm gonna go all the way around and take a couple buckets of water just to make sure I can get water source blocks all around. And then after that, I need to actually sort of figure out how flat I want this outer part before I start the cliff. Because the idea is I'm gonna have a castle in the middle, and then we're gonna have like a medieval village around here. It's in my wheelhouse. That shouldn't be too hard for me to knock out.
Continuing the story of Suthami from the Book of Avon. He asked the woman what her name was. She replied that she didn't know because he hadn't given her one yet. She told Suthami that rules and names are very important, and that he should think of what name she should have. She sat down at the end of her road and waited. In time, a young man came walking up a different road yet. When he approached the crossroads, he saw that the other two people were sitting, so he too sat. He was wearing a cloth of green, opened his sack, and produced some bread to eat. At last, another man appeared, walking up the final road. He was covered in blood, wearing black cloth, and dragged behind him the corpse of a sheep. When he arrived at the crossroads, he asked Suthami what they should do next. Suthami stood and saw what they had was good, and the four of them would become the first Quan.
I'm digging out this enormous amount of stone and cobblestone I always dig in Gabor now. This is sort of my new thing. I'm going to let you in on some of the lore. Now, I talked about this a few episodes ago, but I'm aware that not everyone catches every episode. So I got a comment. I don't remember who it was from. Unfortunately, this would be the question and comment of the day if I could track it down, but I can't find it because I responded to it, and after you respond, it doesn't come up. Anyway, saying something like, hey, you have this big thing in Gabor, big raid farm with no lore. It's just, blah. Yeah, I agree. But there is lore behind it. I just haven't been able to do it yet because I haven't built it yet. So the lore behind this big raid farm is this is where the pirates, the pillagers, like the split off of the Fist of the Dragon. So the Fist of the Dragon and the pirates used to be one clan. They've split, and this is all going to be detailed in lore down the road a bit, maybe even in this episode, I'm not sure. But when they split, the Fist of the Dragon went to look for Steve Tepik to really like save the world, and the pirates just sort of went out for their own, right? So the pillagers, or the pirates in this world, are always after this moon rock, this giant mystical rock. And now the mystical properties are going to be explored after the 5,000 day animated movie that I'm working on, because that's going to open up some things. So once that movie happens, then there's going to be this giant rock down here. Now, to put the rock, I have to actually build it. So I got to dig up this hole, and then we're going to do this big mystical sort of place down here. This whole cavern is going to be a big mystical giant. It's going to be so awesome. I can't wait. It's going to be an absolute mega build, but it's all going to be under Gabor. So yeah, right now it's kind of boring. I agree. And there's not much to it, but it's the long game, right? Long game is at some point, this is going to be an absolutely crucial, important build. It's just that point isn't yet. We're creeping up on it, but not yet. I have a lot of other things I got to work on first. First, I just saw the movie. I went out to a movie all by myself because I wanted to see this dinosaur movie called 65. And I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I like dinosaurs and sci-fi twists and all that kind of. It's unwatchably bad. I mean, I'm not someone who like scoffs at bad movies, but I was scoffing at this one in a big way. It was really, really terrible. So look, if you loved it, then, sorry to like rain on your parade there, but oh, painful. Anyway, so that's neither here nor there. So here's what we're going to do now. I want to extend this road because when any of us walk in this theme park, we want to walk in and we want to see the ramp up to not just the castle, but the entire sort of medieval fantasy sort of area here. So what I'm going to do is start ramping this up because I've decided that how I'm going to do this is 2 plateaus. I mean, an outer ring of plateau where all sort of the medieval stuff is kind of in a ring, and then in the middle we're into another plateau with the castle. So that being said, let's figure out a nice ramp up here. I want to do sort of like a bottom of a U shape a little bit. I don't want to go as hard as stairs though. So let's look at a time lapse. It'll be easier to see than explain. I did a live stream and worked out a lot of things here. So we actually have this big center area. This is all swept up here, and now we have this nice, very beautiful thing. This will be a fountain down the road and a curved walkway up there and then stairs into the castle. So what I want to do first and foremost is figure out exactly how I want this outer section to go. We'll get to this intersection. This is probably going to be like a water feature or waterfall or something. So that means I'm going to have to dip down in order to give it that water area. But in the meantime, it's time to sleep. So I'm going to work out this and go all the way around there. And then once I get up to the top, that is going to be the size, the area of the platform for the actual castle. Okay, so first thing I do is come up with a shape that I really like, and then we'll extend the walls and the cliff after that. But I think, I think we should time lapse this again. I know just what you're thinking. How many time lapses can this man fit in one single video? Well, probably more than we've done already, but look at this. We finally have this entire area all set up. Now, I got 2 more projects that I want to do just for this little mountain, but I think we're going to break away from this for a minute and get to work on something else, and that is the other side of the town. That's right, the other side of Main Street. Now, I have no aspirations of finishing this amusement park in one singular episode. That would be insane and ridiculous, but I think we can get a little bit more done than we've already done so far. So let's cut down these trees and maybe work out a couple buildings here. And I think I'm going to make them a little bit longer, a little bit wider, because over here I have 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings in this space. Let's see if we can maybe manage 3 insets. I'm thinking maybe 1 along the straight side, 1 diagonal, and 1 over here. I think that would be really nice and give you that really good entrance way that we want. And then whenever you walk around the sign, oh yeah, the view opens up. Are you seeing what I'm seeing here? Yeah, that's right. This is going to be so amazing. I cannot wait to show you in Minecraft what's in my mind right now. Another day, another restaurant sort of done. I really tried to bring in some color. You know, I tend to get in these very brown and gray modes and stuff, and I want to make this a bright, cheerful amusement park. So I'd use some of the warp and the prism. It's very simple, but looks nice. You walk in here. It's the Potato Patch, named after Kennywood in Pittsburgh's amusement park place. I thought it was cool. I think it's... Open that up. There we go. And you walk in here, you order your food, you get it, and you walk over here, you find a seat. Now, over this way, that we're actually going to grow some potatoes here, some taters. And I thought maybe this could be like an attraction. Like maybe you bring in your kids, you can order some potatoes, but then you can actually go pick your own potatoes. You know, parks have that kind of stuff, right? So I thought that'd be fun. So what we're going to do is wrap this thing around here, and we're going to do a sort of a greenhouse in the back of this, because I am going to have another house, another building over in this direction, right over here. But then the back won't have anything, and I don't yet want to bring in rides here, this close to Main Street. So I thought maybe just like a little pick your own potato thing could be a really cool sort of medievally amusement park sort of thing that could actually work. And also I don't want to block this river, because the river is right here, and you can see already we're overhanging a little bit, and that's okay. We can do some supports. We don't need to hide it necessarily. I think some supports overlooking the river could be really cool. But the next thing I want to do is build a bit of a greenhouse. I don't have a lot of glass, so I'm gonna have to smelt up some, and I don't know, make just a little thing. It doesn't have to be that huge. I think something small will fit the build just perfectly. You know, I built this thing and it worked great for a little while, but I have really no idea how it works. I don't remember like where I'm supposed to click. I'd like to AFK and do some mud collecting here, but I don't. Okay, so how do I have to? Oh wait, do I have to put this in my other hand? So it's like this, but that's just gonna. No. Oh, I don't know how this works. I can't remember how this works. This worked great for a minute, but now I don't. What am I supposed to aim at? Am I supposed to aim over here? Oh, am I supposed to aim here? No. Maybe this goes in. Maybe this goes in my offhand. No, I don't know how to do it. Okay, I guess this is it. My fortune or my efficiency 5 shovel is too fast for this machine, so I think what I need to do is just get like a different shovel, and that should work fine, because yeah, you need a second, so maybe you need like an unenchanted shovel. Let's try that, because see how there's like a second pause, and see I even broke some of these before it even turned into the mud. So let me go grab maybe a different. Do I have a shovel in here? No, I don't know. Let me go grab a different shovel and see if that's it. Maybe in here. No. I built this extension to the wall the whole way down there because I just realized how I don't want people to be able to just walk in, and I wanted to raise the landscape here because you can see it's higher than it was before. This is the walkway. I think I might just keep it spruce. I think that with fencing probably going along here, and I got to figure out how I want to do this greenhouse. I don't have a great plan because I don't know where this ride over here is going to end. So actually what I think I'm going to do, and that's right, I said ride, not shop. We're going to do a carousel right here. I think what I might do before I do the greenhouse is build out the circle of the carousel so I know exactly how big it is, then come back to the greenhouse and put the greenhouse sort of back in behind. Does that make sense? I don't know how much room I have for this carousel. Not that much, but you know, it's okay. I think carousels are probably a little bit bigger than this in IRL, but yeah, I think it'll be okay. If we go right from the edge of this building to over there, probably enough room anyway. Let's check in with a little progress report here, because I've done a lot of building. I worked on this carousel, and Wandering Trader spawned, and I came up with the great idea of actually using these Wandering Traders as sort of my horses on the... I was going to use horses, but there aren't any horses right around here that I can find anyway, and I don't have any sugarcane, so that leads me to the next thing. Now, I could go get sugarcane in another kingdom, but I'd like to have some things here. So the greenhouse is underway. we're working on this, and I decided to go ahead with the outer layers kind of being... Excuse me, I'm finishing my breakfast sausage. It is delicious. I'm finishing up here this planting area, and I'm going to have sugar here on the outsides, and this is going to be where you can pick your own potato. So kids might come in here, pick their own potato, walk over there to the potato I sound like Porky Pig. The potato patch, and put in their potatoes over there, and that should be a really nice little feature. This merry-go-round is turning out really, really nicely. I still have to put up the upper layer, and I need a lot of wool to actually make that happen, because I want to do kind of a wool steeple, maybe like alternating colors leading up to the middle. I don't know, like red and white or something kind of bright, you know? Regardless, things are going really well here. I have a whole bunch of glass saved up so I can actually start to put some of this stuff down over here, and I'm just going to do very simple, just glass walls for the greenhouse, just like this, all around here. I left the middle open because I'm going to have the middle be a little taller of, all four sides, just to give it a little bit of a design influence that should be kind of nice. But we're coming along here. Things are really nice. After I get this done and that done, then all I have to do is I have to connect the path. And I have decided I'm going to get rid of the spruce and do something else. I'm not sure what. Maybe granite. Maybe just stick with the granite sidewalks. That could work. And not here. I don't want people walking in between these. So we'll do a little bit of a nature thing here. Maybe a fence or something. And then we'll have a granite path that comes right down here and connects up the sidewalk. Fairly wide, because I want people to actually walk over here and see they can pick their own potatoes. Well, it looks like it's time to sleep and get on with a little bit more building. I had to come down here and mine for, well, I came down here for granite, but I ended up finding just so much copper, and then also diorite, and then also andesite, and I'm taking it all because, in this build, I'm going to need a lot of copper and a lot of andesite and a lot of diorite, even if I'm right now looking for granite. You're right. So I'm just taking everything I can find, and I got to remember to combine all my copper because, oh man, it adds up very quickly. But I thought I would drop in because it's been a few episodes since I've talked about it, and I am trying to use this series as kind of a, hey, what's up with Fix sort of thing. And one of the things that I'm very pleased about is that I've had some pretty solid success with still continuing to drop weight. I'm doing a keto diet. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a no carb diet essentially. And that means no fruits, no sugars, no bread, no treats basically at all. And I'm trying to eat primarily meat. It's primarily meat with some leafy greens and all that kind of stuff. And it has worked like an absolute charm. I am down from my high weight of about 270. I am down to 205 this morning. So that's a pretty solid weight loss. I'm only exercising about 2 days a week now. I had been going about 5 days a week, alternating between some very basic like lifting, like bench press, pull-ups, and a lot of walking with an incline on the treadmill. Just walking, that's it. And recently I've actually scaled that back a little bit because the weights are starting to get a little bit heavier as I'm getting up sort of towards where it's getting really kind of tough to lift. So I've scaled back to now to lifting only twice a week, where I'm alternating between like a bench press pull-up routine and a deadlift and a couple auxiliary lifts, things like that. If you're interested, you can talk on Discord about that if that's something that interests you so much. But yeah, things have been going really well. I've been feeling physically good, emotionally, mentally. We're still working through some kinks here, still getting through all some of that. But I'm really happy that I can now walk upstairs and get on rides with my kids and do all that kind of stuff without really sort of running out of breath. And that was happening before, like a simple couple flight staircase was like, I'd get a little winded, and I didn't like that at all. So I feel much, much, much better in that respect. And so, yeah, I'm continuing on. I have not had a singular carb. I mean, that's ridiculous. Of course I've had carbs, but I've not had a singular cheat meal, if you will, like not a cupcake or a slice of pie or any of that stuff in well over 100 days at this point now. It's been probably closer to, I don't know, almost 6 months, probably very close. I just haven't felt the need. Every once in a while at nighttime, I feel the urge to have some treats that my kids have laying around the house, and instead I eat some cheese, and I find that cheese has been a pretty good sort of crutch to get through some of these things, because cheese is essentially no carb or very, very little carb. Anyway, things are going really well. I thought I'd drop in and just let you know that. I'm going to go ahead and get all this granite and diorite cleared out of this little cave, and then hopefully we can extend the sidewalk and get moving into the next project. Okay, we have another queue done, and this might seem strange. Okay, queue to pick vegetables? Yeah, I know, it's a little weird, but I want a lot more queues because that sort of gives the feeling of this amusement park, right? So, yeah, but let's say, hey, there's gonna be a long line for food, so if you want food, then you gotta wait in line and pick your potato and then come back, right? I mean, yeah, let's just go with me. Let's just go with me, and we'll pretend like that makes a lot of sense. But the more queues you can have in an amusement park, the more of that feeling that you're going to get like, oh yeah, this is a busy, happening place that there's a lot of people. This is going to be very, very, very cool. Now, I do need an exit for this because I don't want people coming out the same way. So even though I just finished this area over here, I'm going to have to actually cut through it and make an exit line to go back out and meet up with the road over there, right? Yeah, it's got to make sense. This place is starting to look really, really nice. Did I just jump? Oh, I did. I just jumped on my place. Why would I do that? I got lucky, though. It didn't break the farmland. Okay, so the other thing I want to do is I want to add in over top of some of these queues. And this is probably the biggest queue I have, which is kind of weird. But I do want to have some sort of canopies. So some are going to be like trees. We could have some hanging leaner trees that are going to go over here. That would help. And then also I just want to have some wool canopies. So with that being said, I am still continuing to AFK my wool farm all the time. And I'm up to about 7 or 8 stacks per color, actually per chest. So double that per color. So we're getting there. We're getting there. And whenever I'm done with the exit queue over here and done with this area, then we'll head over and just bring a bunch of shulkers and just harvest all of our wool. But I do want to finish these 2 areas first. Hopefully another wandering trader will show up soon so I can get 2 more llamas in my rides. That'll be nice to actually not kill those guys for once. I mean, retire them to the special island where llamas live, right? Next big decision I have to make in this park is how I'm going to get to the next land, the next area, and that's going to be where those dark oak trees start. So I think what I'm going to do is I want to do something interesting. I don't want to just go completely straight in an absolutely straight line because the distance from here to there is already fairly big. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to make a bit of a diamond here where I can have something interesting right kind of in the middle of the road, maybe just past the, what do you call this, the greenhouse, and then reconvene straight ahead again to get into the dark oak forest. So I think the first thing I want to do, because I want to have the gate. This is the only one that's going to have a gate. If you look at the map, this is the only different land that's connected by land. Like this has a bridge, this will be a bridge, this will be a bridge, but this area right here, yeah, it's just going to be a gate. So the way to get into Adventureland is going to be a big giant castle gate, which I think will make a lot of sense. And we're going to have it right straight away to there. So I need to find this spot over there and then figure out a nice sort of, I don't know, just a way to have some sort of feature in the middle of the road. Eventually, I want to fill in these areas with probably shops as well. Probably not any more rides. I have now 2 rides here. Maybe there might be enough room for a ride over there. But other than that, just shops here and then head up to the castle that direction. Things are coming along really nicely. I'm super happy about it. And just like the feeling of the park when you walk in, a merry-go-round over, I call it that because my kids call it that, merry-go-around. And then you walk over here. Yeah, it's starting to feel really good. This part of Main Street is starting to feel great. Now, yeah, we still need trees, landscaping, some bushes, lots of street lights, all that kind of stuff. But you can see that the path is over here. Staying consistent is going to be really vital. I've learned that. Coming off of here, showing like, yeah, this is a path that you can walk along. That's really huge. So I'm going to do definitely more of that where I keep the granite feel. And then over here, I think what we may end up doing is doing sort of like at the entrance to the queue, like an overhead thing that says the name of what the ride or attraction is or something. I think that'd make a lot of sense. So we may come back and do that. Maybe just like a couple fence posts, a couple gates, and a couple signs. I think something along those lines could really work out well. But if you walk over here, you see all this beautiful landscaping. Definitely left room for some custom trees right here. Just some little guys to help sort of fill in the gaps, fill in the space. This is beautiful. So simple, but I definitely am going to do more of that where you just have like rows of flowers sort of in the middle of the path. I think that's really cool. Over here is room for yet more stuff. We'll put in probably Probably, maybe a ride. There might be a room for a ride between the wall and the beginning of, I don't know what we're going to call this, a fantasy land, I guess, over there. And then over here, certainly we have room for a ride. We could actually put a fairly big ride here and then still not really mess up Main Street, because we could have some shops along here, along the side, and then do a big ride over there. Something along those lines could be really cool. Unfortunately for me, the time has come to do some major landscaping, and that is going to be over there at the castle. I already have 5 shulkers filled with stone and cobble, and I think it's time for me to get to work, because I'm not building the castle this episode. I just want to work on Main Street USA sort of area, but yeah, eventually we're going to do that, and I want to have at least the landscaping mostly done, so when I do the castle, then we can just sort of plop it right in there. All right, let me put my stuff away and get to landscaping. Okay, that was a lot of grind. That was about 2 hours, and that means we are right up to hour 50, if you can even believe it. I can hardly believe it, honestly. Time is blowing by here. Now, when I started this project, I thought, okay, it's going to be a 50-day, or 50-hour, rather, project. Let's just see how much we can get done in 50 hours. But I don't want to stop now, because I'm, like, in a good place, like kind of rolling, and I think we can get a lot more done. So that being said, we're gonna keep on going. I don't know how long. Like last time I tried doing these, last episode, I think we went to like 58 hours. I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna be 58 hours or maybe it'll be 100 hours. I don't know. You probably have a better gauge on that than I do right now, looking at the total time of the video. But for right now, I just want to keep on going because I'm enjoying this project. I'd like to get to a really great, like, sort of stopping place too before we go and just end it, right? So the next thing I'm doing is I'm kind of coming in here and I'm going to take the time to actually detail these clips. Now, something I do in my videos too often is I say, okay, like I just roughed it in here, I'm going to get back to this, but then I don't actually get back to it. And I don't know if you've noticed it. I don't know if it's become a trend, but it's something that I would like to definitely not do here, because here I really want to make this place a finished product. And it's not going to be finished this episode. I mean, let's not even pretend for a second that that's going to happen. But I want to make everything like that you see that's done really, truly done, and not just sort of roughed in for now, quote unquote, going to come back to it, but I don't really, right? So that's what we're going to work on. I'm going to work on really detailing this whole place so that whenever you pop out here and you take a look at it, it looks like it is actually done, and we're going to do that. The other thing I'm going to talk about is a recent change in 1.19.4 just came out, is that vines can be turned off by game roll. So, do we want to do that? I like my vine farms and I need them at times, but also I would really like to set the total size of a vine. You know, that'd be a really nice thing to be able to just say, okay, this is it. No more vine growth. But at the same point, then you can't harvest vines anymore. So that's kind of more of a creative thing, I think, but it's very tempting. I really wish that there were like a shears, a shears game rule that you could just like shear the end, just like the other blocks. Because I would like to use vines all over the place here, but what will happen is they'll just grow everywhere. And I'll have to use string inevitably. And that kind of stinks too, because you can see the string. And I think that sort of breaks your immersion a little bit too. So I don't know. I don't know if you have any ideas about what to do about vine growth other than string, because I know that, but I'm just kind of drug about it. It's not something I really want to do, but maybe we'll have to. I don't know. I'm going to make little patches of this. I'm not going totally random. We're just going to do little patches of moss. Like, once the moss starts to take hold, it sort of all just, like, goes everywhere. So we're just going to do a lot of that and then come back in and throw in stairs and slabs and stuff like that. So I got some grind ahead of me here. All right, some grind later. I did these 2 little pools leading up to the main castle. I may end up changing these for something really nice later, but I started with something a little bit more natural looking for now, at least. I'm not totally sure how rocky and stuff I want this to be, but if you look down here, it looks a lot better. Still some more work I want to do here, but I feel pretty good about it. Like I like all the coral that I went out and got at my pirate kingdom, and yeah, I think it looks nice. I think it looks a very good start. I do need sea pickles. I need a sea pickle farm in a bad way. I don't know where to put that yet. I'll figure that out down the road, but I think it's time to break away from the big mountain, because we're not going to be doing the castle like I said this this episode. We'll come back to do another one later on, but I do want to at least sort of finish Main Street. I mean, oh man, it's a daunting task because I got to go the whole way out there, and that's just a lot of houses and stuff. But I guess the best thing to do is, well, start with the first house. So let's start with right here and start with a few little shops and stuff where we're going to at least a shop here and a shop there, and then maybe look into a ride over there. I'm not sure yet, but let's start with the shop. Kind of keep going this, Main Street USA vibe. I worked out this little sort of restaurant area here. I think it's kind of nice. A little bit different, just solid colors out of my wheelhouse. A little bit. I usually do a lot of texturing, and I decided not to this time. Nice seating area where you can look up at the future castle, fireworks show, all that kind of stuff. This is going to be very, very high-end seating, I believe, for the evening shows every night. And then you come out here, and this is where the next ride is going to be. And this is going to be one of those sky coaster things that you get on. It's kind of like a chairlift, right? You get on, and you're going to ride over to Fantasyland over there, upcoming at some point. But we're going to build the 2 stations now and the sky carts because I want to put underneath the sky carts, I want to put some stuff for them to look down, like some big, really nicely designed flower beds and stuff like that, which is going to be a nice space filler for right off here off the main street. And then over on this side, we'll do sort of a side road with maybe a ride or more houses. I'm not sure which way I want to go, but I like the beginning of this. So this is actually the queue. For once, I remember to do the queue first. So the queue is going to come up along this way. Then you get on right here, and that's going to zip you out probably that way, I guess. And then this is where you get off. You get off right here, and then you come over here, and you go right down and exit along this way. So, okay. So we have the beginning of this. Now, this sky coaster, it's going to be a little bit of, it's not a sky coaster. Why am I, Skyliner? I don't know what you want to go, chairlift. This thing is going to be a kind of a pain to build because I want to use chains. So I made a bunch of chains, not nearly enough. And the chains are going to be the main flat part. But to get up and down, chains don't go diagonal. So I'm going to figure out a way to go diagonal. I think probably that's going to involve stairs and fences most likely. And then once we get up to the top, then we can actually just use the chains. I think it'll be a really nice look. And then to really make it work, I'm going to have hanging cars all along it. And, we'll go for colorful cars, but that's going to be, it's going to be a grind and a half. Okay, I feel like I'm getting into the real groove of like the heart of the amusement park for me. And I know that like the Main Street Disney, very, very themed, sort of set in a moment of time thing is a lot of people's cup of tea, but my cup of tea is roller coasters and rides. I love them. It's so much. So now that I have a couple rides going in and this thing right here, this is absolutely going to be awesome. So I'm going to be doing cars. I think I set these little blocks, these deep stone blocks every 10. I think what I'm going to do is do every 2. I'll do a car. So I'll go like car and then the other side car and then skip one and then car. I think that'll be probably a good amount of cars. Now, if I want to do cars, I got to come up with a design because I want them to be very colorful. I want them to be, reds and vibrant things. Now, the problem is, and this is going to be something I have been harping on for, and I'm not even kidding right now, like maybe 7 or 8 years, I want concrete stairs and slabs so badly. It would change absolutely everything if we had that, or even terracotta, but especially concrete stairs and slabs would just open up possibilities of building so many things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deep slate. Let's cut these into there and let's work out some designs. Maybe we'll head over to Creative Test World and work out a couple designs. This is my first attempt at a design of one of these cars. It's kind of weird, and I think what I need to do is make it smaller. I think it's because also it's going to be hanging from the rails, and that's not centered, and that's going to just drive me crazy. So maybe if I just made it a little bit smaller, something more like this, and brought these in like so. Like, does that seem better? I think probably it is. And then we just have to go like get rid of a couple of these things. Yeah, this is going to be better. It's going to be a lot more compact. And I think it's going to be a better overall product. And then I can have this and then still the stairs, because I still do want to make these like, you could actually get in and take a ride, right? So yeah, okay. The inside, that's about how big these cars usually are. In fact, actually, we could even go with 1 sea lantern instead of 2, but maybe 2 would be a better look from sort of the, yeah, I think 2 might, either, I could go either way on that. Okay, this is not bad. This is a pretty good pretty solid design. I think we can probably come up with these. Now I'm gonna have to go make a ton of different concrete powders, unfortunately. That's gonna take a bit. Let's go do that. No, building in Minecraft down is so painful. I wish it weren't so painful, but it really, really is. It's just, yeah, there's just not great ways to do it, except for, I guess, just bucketing down, and that's kind of a pain. So, okay, so this is the car, and I think it's going to look really good, especially, look, one looks okay, but, you know, if you pack on all across there, I think it's going to look really, really, really cool. The only thing that I realized I forgot is I forgot this deep slate tile block that I want, and I'm making them all the deep slate tiles because that's the one that I haven't used in the road or anything like that. So I just think it'll look a little bit different, and that's kind of what I want to go for. But this is not a bad start. I made sure to put this one exactly 10 fences down from up there, so that way these are going to be stacked evenly. And the only thing I forgot this guy right. Oh, you know what? I don't have my. Well, I don't plan on doing much of this. I don't have my axe with me because I need the inventory space. It's such a mess. All right, so yeah, that's going to be good. And then that'll be sort of the starter, and then we'll skip one and do them a lot more. Okay, I got to build a ton of these, so I'll see you on the other side. I made a terrible mistake, and that was that these cars are 5 wide, and I only had my initial 2 tracks 3 wide between each other, so they would have smashed into each other repeatedly, because, you know, one side's going this way, the other side's coming back this way. But so I added a fifth block or another rail out there, and then I'll just use this middle one for, like, carrying electric or holding the supports or something. I'm not going to take it down, because whatever, it looks fine. Now, that leads to another problem is up here on top of my station, of my loading station, that doesn't work. These are 3 wide because I thought this would just come right in here, and it clearly does not. So unfortunately for me, all of this has to go away. I mean, it's not that much work, but still, it sucks to take down something you already did. But yeah, this has got to go because I got to expand it. That probably means I have to move the queue as well. So boo, and rip for my old building. But that's okay. We can build something a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit nicer, you know, because I was going to design this next anyway. And yeah, this is all good to go. They just won't fit. Oh yes, a little bit more work has been done over here because I'm going to open up a gaming district. And the thinking is a lot of these parks have sort of in the front area have a bunch of games that you can sort of play. And I want to do that here. And I think that might be a very interactive thing to do in Minecraft. So I'm going to flatten out this land right up to the edge where I'm probably going to end up having to do a custom cliff because I want this to be flat enough that I can build a bunch of little gaming stalls here. And they're going to be anything from, like, in Minecraft lore, like target shooting games or something like that. I did this little area over here. It's a little hard to see from down here. The idea is that you'd see it when you're going over top of it in the sky car. I think that could be really, really, really cool. And then the other thing I forgot to do is this. That's not going to work, is it? I didn't bring enough gates. Well, okay. So yeah, so I'm going to flatten out this area over here, build in some games, come up with a couple ideas. I was thinking like target shooting games. Maybe like we could do like a dodgem hall here that maybe in the middle and then a couple games on either side, something along those lines. Let's do dodgem. That seems like a pretty fun and pretty interactive sort of Minecraft-y sort of game. Okay, we'll do a little dodgem course over there. I know just where I happen to have some ice. My goodness. Okay, dodgems are in, not decorated at all yet. I'm going to be adding in some leaves and some beautification over here, but I did a queue. I made a path block, and I think it looks really, really nice. In fact, I may actually do more queues out of path block because I don't use path block very much, and I think this just gives that extra sort of feel to the sort of medieval, modern mixture that we're going with here. And yeah, I'm gonna bring in different boats of different wooden varieties, and I think you get the idea. You just jump in a boat and pretend like they're dodgems. I think that should work very, very nicely. Okay, so I'm gonna make this beautiful, but before I do that, I want to line this up with a couple games here, and I'm thinking maybe the first game we should do might be a target block inspired game that I think could be really cool. Unfortunately, this is gonna take a lot of time to work out because I am no redstone master, if you know what I mean. But I think before I do that, I want to hide the sides. So something I've been thinking about, and actually I've been researching a little bit. Quote, researching means I Googled and clicked on one of the first 5 pages that came up. You know, it's as much research as most people do these days in the world. So what I want to do is I want to hide the sides and the back of these sort of buildings, because this building is all finished on the side, so it's going to be okay. I mean, once I get this staircase supported. But some buildings are not finished on the side. Let me show you one that's not. For example, this one. I got to hide this. Now, the reason why I didn't do this side is because I think I'm probably going to have a building that's like connected to it and touching, going over in this direction. But I don't want to show any of this kind of stuff. Something I learned about Disney, I'm not sure if it's Disneyland or Disney World, probably both, to be honest, but is a lot of their big rides, like the big rides that are indoor rides that require just a massive, massive building, they actually exist. The rides themselves exist outside of the park walls, which I did not know. And that way they don't have to like sort of facade them all. So when you walk up to like a ride like I want to say it's Hollywood Studios, like the dinosaur ride. The beginning of it, the front of it is all super nice and immersive and everything. But if you were to somehow get a drone and fly around the outside, then you're leaving the park and then you just see like a big sort of, metal, steel, regular old building that's not decorated. And there's no way that you can see that from inside the park. That's kind of cool, and that's something that's not very helpful for us where we are right now, because we are like dead in middle of the park. And from over there where the castle is, you're going to be able to look back and see this. So these shops that I'm building right here, or shops or games or whatever, are going to have to be completely finished on all sides, because you are definitely going to be able to see them. So what I'm thinking is I have this area over here, and I want to do something with it. And I'm thinking another seating area, kind of like what we did over there for a restaurant. So here's what I'm going to do. A restaurant here with an outdoor seating area so you can look up and see the castle and the fireworks. Prime firework location here. Then over here, maybe 1 or 2 games between the dodgems and stuff. And then what we'll do is we'll do a small little custom tree line here to sort of separate them. That way, if you're in here at playing a game, you're not overwhelmed by the dodgem noise. I think it'd be a little bit of a noise break as well. This place is starting to really shape up. Another rainy day. It rains all the time here, and I've done just a little bit of sort of detail work as well as building another restaurant. So this is now officially the queue for the Skyliner or Skyride, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, you just go up here. I don't have an exit still. I actually just remembered that now. I need to work that out. And I'm probably going to end up replacing these with dark oak. I don't know why only these 4 are birch. That's really annoying. Let's just get rid of these right now. We'll figure that out later. So yeah, I need an exit, and I think the exit's probably gonna. It's very awkward because since I had to move this and sort of make the building bigger, I don't have a great exit, and this is right on the street. So I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't have a real good solution to this. The exit may have to be just like a single staircase right here in the middle. That seems a little bit dangerous, but that may be what we have to do just to get people out of this place, because otherwise they're going to be stuck on this ride forever and ever. But I did do another restaurant. I think it has turned out very, very nice. So if you, just random crafting. I make so many crafting tables in this world. I never keep them on me, and so I just constantly have to recraft them because I don't want to go all the way back. So yeah, so a little restaurant here, not a big deal, a little bit of a bar. I thought maybe a tavern bar, very simple, very small, and an outdoor seating area again, just like the other place, mostly because I thought, well, I have one over on this side, and I think it's really nice. I think it adds a lot, and it's right on the water, and there's not enough room to do anything else, really. So I thought, let's just go ahead and do another one of these here. Again, another place to look at the fireworks. That should be cool. This is going to need a custom cliff here because it's just floating landscape for right now. But the overall area is... We're getting close to calling this not finished, but at least done for now. I think there's this space over here that I think I know what that's going to be. I think that's going to be actually a ride. Originally, I was thinking about just doing more shops along here, but honestly, I want to do maybe slides. But we'll get to that in a few moments. I have a couple more things I want to do over in this area, and that is those games we talked about. I tried so hard to make these things move up and down. I really did. I tried... and I failed. So now they just go up and you just throw snowballs. That's the game. Yeah. Listen, if you have a better game, hit me on Twitter, hit me on my Discord, and let me know, and maybe I can figure out some way. I was going to make these like randomly pop up and down. You have to hit them with the snowball, but I need like a pulse extender, and I don't know how to do stuff. So, eventually someday, whenever we go to the moon, that's going to be part of the moon project, is going to be to teach myself redstone, because I don't know how to do any of it. But for right now, you know what? For right now, fine. It's a game. You walk up here, you pay your money, you play the game. You slay the pillager, etc. But yeah, this place is starting to look really good. I'm so glad that I lit up those cars, because now at nighttime, it really adds the atmosphere. The whole thing is really adding atmosphere. And you may notice these beehives around. It's because I haven't decided if I want to make this maybe my honey farm. I don't have a farm here yet. And I do kind of plan on having one farm in each city, at least one in each city in this entire world. So I do want to have a farm here. So maybe part of the animal kingdom may be a giant honey farm or something along those lines. But we're getting there. We're getting there quickly. I still have more open space on the other side of the dodgems that I can fill. But I'm not sure. I might head over to this side and... Oh, you know what? Let's do a slide. Oh, I love slides. I love like old school, like 1950s style slides. Let's just do a big freaking slide. We're going to do it maybe over there where those trees are and coming down to over here. That way, whenever you're walking through here, you do see this the castle. And we'll have to do a little bit of landscaping on this building too. But yeah, that'll be cool. The story Edwin read from the Book of Avon makes me wonder, is this their creator myth? A man walking around for years alone in the world suddenly comes across 3 other people and form the 4 sects of Avon society? Could this man, Soothmine, have been real? The book goes on to tell us so much more about him. I'm tempted to believe he may have actually been a true historical figure. Another story this man talks about is how the warrior class rose up against him. The army gathered outside the gates of his palace, and he pushed past his own personal guards and walked out to face them. Though he was unarmed, the warrior army was fully prepared to kill him and take control of the Avon. No soldier would raise arms against him. Eventually, they all basically shrugged and returned to their warrior class buildings. They never rebelled again. This is very interesting. I want to dig more into the Avon. Their history goes back so far. I think we can learn a lot about this world over time. Well, this was a grind and a half, but the big wheel is basically roughed in. You saw the first half in the time lapse. I did the second half while listening to my audiobook. Finishing an audiobook is really good. I think it's called Recursion or something. Yeah, it was great. Anyway, yeah, here we go. So this is the big wheel. Now look, I'm a little bit concerned that it's going to take away some from the castle view. And because when you walk in, you're going to see the castle. The castle's going to be big, but it's not going to be that big. I mean, well, it is going to be that big, but you're not, this is closer, so you're going to see it. But I just love the idea of walking down here, you see in these shops, and then you see, oh yeah, cool, I'll just ride that. The big wheel. It looks so freaking cool. Definitely shout out to the tutorial that I followed. It was older tutorial, about 7 years old or something like that. But I think that you'd probably like it. It's the Golden Apple if you want to go give a shout out to them for the really nice tutorial on the color scheme and dimensions of the big wheel and all that kind of stuff. Regardless, it's time for me to continue working because this wheel right now is hovering in space and I need to build the tripod thing and a platform to get people in. I'm starting to decorate the outside of this, and it's proving to be a little bit more difficult than I thought. So I did the hedgerow thing to hide some of this. I mean, I want you to be able to see it, but not it to be like in your face. This is the exit. You walk over here and a super long hedgerow that's going to need some sort of major decoration. This is the actual queue. The queue's kind of long, so we'll just sort of see it. Now, I don't have anything from the other side done here. I think I tried to put in these little tiny trees that look like, hopefully they look like really manicured trees. Like they look like, people are really like detailing these trees. And I think what I'm going to do is do the same sort of thing about here and just go like every 5 blocks, maybe. So that's not exactly gonna fit, but something like that. I think that kind of works. Maybe here we'll just do this and then just do the exact same kind of trees, just so like whenever you're walking through here, you don't see necessarily the big rows of people. I think that'll actually probably help a lot. And we'll just do trees kind of like this, like that. Just very simple, very shaped, obviously very trimmed, that kind of stuff. I think it works I think works pretty well. And then I'll probably bring in some flowers, but I don't want to overdo the flowers. I want every time there are flowers in this park, I want them to be really like here for a reason, right? Not just in the grass, I want them to be like in flower beds, in very particular spots and all that kind of stuff. Down here, I lowered this so that this will look like this can come smoothly down here to load up more passengers, all that kind of stuff. The one thing that I don't know if this step is too big, so I was thinking about maybe doing like a step like here, maybe, and then I don't know, like maybe just like something like that that's like a different color, or maybe a trap door or something, so it's very obvious that this is the platform where you're supposed to get on. I think that kind of works, right? We could even go like that, so make sure people don't fall off. Yeah, I think that would work. I think that looks okay. Looks all right. I added something that I have never added in any kingdom, I think, like maybe ever, in all the time I've been playing Minecraft. I've always thought about it, and I've always been like, oh yeah, I'll get to that, but I never have done it. I added bathrooms. It's so obvious and simple. I know a lot of people have done this in their worlds and stuff, but yeah, I've never done it before. So I did that, and I just grabbed some lights here to light it up. But let me show you the inside. I think it's okay. It's very simple. This is the way a lot of amusement park and big public function sort of parks are. There's not like a door. You kind of walk in, you go around the corner. So I thought this kind of looks like a mirror. Walk in here, wash your hands, go over here, do your job in there, and yeah. So we got male and female. I moved this a little bit. It was off center. This one's one block bigger, so this is probably gonna be the females. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do like this. Yeah, let's just do this just so you block it, because I know that people don't really like to see you going in. So yeah, that'll be a little bit better. Even though it's a little tight fit here, that's okay. That's not a big deal. Yeah, it looks super nice, very simple, but I think it works. Well. I'm gonna get some leaves and stuff and really make it look a little bit extra nicer and extra nice. And I got to make sure that I always fence off these areas in between. Then what we'll do is we'll put up a couple little custom trees there just to sort of fill in the gaps, because you don't want people walking over here, and they will. If there's not a fence, people will certainly walk where they're not really supposed to. So we'll do something like that, just to keep those people out. Oh, I've been working. I will show this to you at night because I think it looks really nice. So I closed off this passageway. So we're right here beside the big wheel, and I decided to put in a food court. So this is going to be where you come down, you can order all different food, maybe drinks and pizza and all different kinds of stuff. Little seating right here. Also, these custom little trees are going to separate that just a little bit, just give a little bit of a sound barrier, and also make this feel like a private little bit. But most importantly is this blocks the view of over there. And over there is going to be the animal kingdom eventually. Not this episode, certainly, but down the road a little bit. And if you're walking through here, look, you can see the food court, but it's not really a point of it's not a feature. Now, as you get over here, there are going to be some things that you're going to be able to see. So I think what we could do is probably put in some pretty dense foliage here, or maybe even bring the cliff up a little bit. I want you able to see the castle, but I don't really want you to be able to see over there. And I don't have enough room to put a wall in. So I think we're just going to do this with some foliage right about here. Maybe bring the cliff up a little bit and sort of split the difference. But yeah, the animal kingdom is going to be the savannah over there. That's going to be really cool. Things are coming together awesomely. If you look at the map, you can see now we have this entire area done outside of the custom cliff and a little bit of stuff over here. But basically, if you're in the park, if you're on the path, you don't see anything that I don't want you to see. And that's really important. Down here, same deal. Going up here, of course, we're going to do that later. But over here, yeah, we still got some problems to deal with over here. So we're going to have to do that next. Another thing I had to deal with is how to get to the train, even though I don't really have a train track yet. So I found this little spot right here. I think this is really the only actual way that I can pull this off, and that's going to be to no, that's not how to kind of. There we go. Okay, so you're going to walk up here, and you're going to go through here. This is going to be a little bit of a queue. I like this, sort of in the radio station here to go up to the train, and then you're going to come up here, and this is where you're going to get on the train. And this train is going to go all the way around the park to all the different lands and stuff. So this is the Main Street USA entrance, and I think it works okay. Normally what I would like to do is have a different area to get off, but honestly, I cannot work it out. There's just not enough room. So, you know, because over here we're going through this ride and then we're going up on the roof, and I don't really want to have queues up here on the roof and stuff like that. So this is okay. This is not bad. I like how it worked out. I don't really love where it is, but I think we can live with it for now. I do want to expand the train tracks a little bit more. I may wait, though, until we do Fantasy Town over there, Fantasyland, because I want to know exactly where everything's going to be. And right now, I'm not really sure. So I think the best way to do is wait on the wall and wait on the train track expansion until we actually start that area over there. That way we can know exactly where to put it. And one thing I learned is I'm going to do the railroad basically right away. That'll be one of the first things I do, and then everything else will kind of go around it, since it needs to go around and everything else is flexible. I think, believe it or not, I am done with you know, this. Now, look, yeah, it just ends, right? The path just ends. But yeah, this is going to be the beginning of Fantasyland. And so I'm going to have a giant, like, castle-like gate wall that's going to connect to the wall over there. So I can't really do that until phase 2, because I'm probably going to have this wall come in here, because that, again, is going to be where the train comes. So this area has to be sort of left until the next part. But this water slide is done. It looks really nice. A little flower garden there. Finally, a chance to put in some of these sunflowers, because they're facing this direction is here. So, because everywhere else they would be facing away from the people, and I don't really like that. I like them to be facing sort of the direction where the people would be. And yeah, this is a nice little boat ride. It's obviously very simple, but you just get on and just do this little water slide in a boat, and yeah, it's another functional ride, which makes me really, really happy, because now we have 2 non-functional rides over here, and we have 1, 2, and I guess this Wandering Trader Llama merry-go-round, I guess that's kind of functional. You can sit on them anyway. It's not like the most incredible fun ride, I guess, but you know, look, I'm on it. We're gonna call it functional. We'll just go with that and move along. So yeah, and then plus the theater. So I think that's really cool. I think we have had a lot of really, really, really good progress to go here. Now, there's one more thing I want to do, and it's a big one, is I need to beautify the park. If you look around this park, I kind of let it go till nighttime here so we could talk about it. This park is very beautiful, but it's a little bit plain when it comes to the center here. It's because it needs nature in the path. We need light posts, we need trees, basically, in the road. So, and also, obviously, I'm not doing over here, weird lane glitch. I think I need to update one of my mods, because that happens every once in a while. I just need to reload my resource pack to get rid of that shadow. So I'm not doing this either. Obviously, that's going to be another video down the road. But yeah, everything's good here. I just need to add in the beautification of the actual main street. So I'm going to do some flower beds, some trees, trash cans, benches, and lamps. And we're just going to do a whole bunch of them. And I think in this part of the area, like, I've been looking at these because these are very sort of, you know, modern looking. I think I want to go with more of these for this area. I just feel like that's probably the right move. Maybe we'll do different lighting for each different land, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll save the sea lanterns for like more of the modern sci-fi land, I think. That is going to do it for this mega-sized episode of Survival with Fix. I hope you really enjoyed this one absolutely huge build all in one episode. You have to let me know in the comments. Do you love just the really huge event sort of videos like this, or would you prefer, no, let's just keep them small, intimate, and frequent, because obviously these ones take a lot more time than just a little regular survival episode. You have to let me know. I love this build. I am super into it, and I'll see you all next time.